Right now on WHAS11 News at noon, heavy rain flash floods across Elizabethtown. When we can expect another round of severe weather to hit Kentuckiana. Plus, an apartment fire overnight in downtown Louisville displaced close to 100 residents, what firefighters believe to be the cause. And later in Indiana, 15-year-olds accused of repeatedly abusing a 7-year-old on a school bus. Why a judge has decided to try him as an adult. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Tuesday. I'm Brooke Hash. Unprecedented rainfall caused street closures and significant damage in Elizabethtown overnight. City officials there said every part of that city was affected. We were told nearly every creek overflowed during a period of torrential rainfall with flash flooding throughout Elizabethtown. Police closed roads due to high water, and first responders were out making runs throughout the night.
We have had several swiftwater rescues this evening that our fire department had to be involved in. I mean, there's certainly probably significant damage throughout the county. I mean, there's, I know some vehicles that were damaged as a result of the rain and probably some residents as well.
Now, most of the floodwaters did recede by about 10 o'clock yesterday. This was just the first round of weather this week, with all eyes now on tomorrow's radar. Meteorologist Matt Breland is looking at the timing of those storms with some forecasted for today as well. Matt.
That's right, Brooke. Yeah, we are in a rainy pattern that is going to be lasting for the rest of today and especially into tomorrow. Temperatures right now in the mid-70s. We're seeing a few of those scattered showers across downtown Louisville at the moment. Mostly cloudy skies along with winds staying out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour, steadily bringing in a lot of that humid air. That's going to be lasting as we head throughout the rest of our day along with Wednesday. Temperatures so far still staying in those mid-70s. We're not going to see that much of a bump in temperatures as we head throughout the day. We're still going to be staying under these mostly overcast skies as these southwest winds continue to drive in a steady amount of moisture and humidity. And it's going to be keeping us cloudy. Here's a few of those showers starting to make their way just along I-65. They'll be getting closer into Elizabethtown, Brandenburg, and arriving towards us here in the Louisville Metro just as we head into the next upcoming afternoon hours. You'll notice the clusters of showers still forming into parts of central Tennessee. That flow is going to be headed our direction throughout mostly between 2 and 4 p.m., really shaping up to be a wet weather pattern through our afternoon hours. I would say keep the umbrella on standby. We're going to see these clusters of showers and storms continuing all throughout our Tuesday afternoon. They will be arriving in intervals. We'll see some periods where the rain showers arrive and then they'll last for about 15 minutes. Then we'll have about 15 to 20 minutes of no rain showers, just cloudy skies. And then the next thing you know, another rain shower passes by. So we're going to continue to stay in this pattern for the rest of our Tuesday, but a heads up, we're expecting severe thunderstorms to arrive as we head into our Wednesday evening. Some of those could have some strong winds and definitely some heavy rainfall. All the details about that forecast coming up here in just a few short minutes. Brooke.
Matt, thank you. Louisville firefighters said an air conditioning unit is likely to blame for an apartment fire in downtown Louisville. It temporarily displaced about 100 residents, and it happened around 12:30 this morning on the 4th floor of the Avenue Plaza high-rise there off South 8th Street. That's just near Muhammad Ali Boulevard. Sprinkler systems had already turned on, and TARK buses were on hand to shelter the residents. LFD's arson unit is currently investigating. Are immigration officials taking Louisvillians into custody? One group of Metro Council members and Louisville activists say it's happening at an office just south of downtown. The claims made just days after protesters gathered across the country to speak out against migrant arrest by ICE agents. Our senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez started digging into those accusations.
What do we want? No ICE! What do we want? No ICE!
Most of the people, including myself, we believe in having law and order.
But Martha Sanchez, a Mexican-American in Louisville, says she draws the line here.
When it's not being done through a procedure, a protocol, it gets extreme.
This is no longer just a check-in site. It's a trap.
This is what democracy looks like.
On the heels of nationwide protests over the Trump administration's heightened immigration raids, including 4,000 marching in downtown Louisville Saturday, a smaller crowd gathered to point to this building just south of downtown.
I do have fear myself.
It's the Louisville office for ISAP, the ICE program allowing undocumented immigrants to stay in their communities while going through the immigration process, including court appearances under supervision.
When they snatch people out of our streets, ICE shows up in
full face masks.
Alongside city activists, Metro Council member J.P. Lininger, representing Old Louisville, accused ICE officials of taking people away at their routine check-ins as recently as this month. So far, WHAS11 has not been able to independently verify these claims, with multiple city and state elected officials, including several top Kentucky Republican lawmakers, telling us they haven't heard of this happening in Louisville. Last week, Deputy Police Chief Emily McKinley saying this when asked whether LMPD is ordered to help ICE if they carried out a raid in the metro.
We haven't assisted with ICE on any operation here locally.
Mayor Craig Greenberg has said before, Louisville is not a sanctuary city. Sanchez with this message to those in power.
The state and local government need to step in and stop this because they're terrorizing citizens as well.
Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, advocacy groups hosting that news conference provided us with photos of what they say show ICE officers detaining people in Louisville. But again, we have yet to independently verify those. However, there is video proof of arrests such as those taking place in other states like Michigan, Illinois, and New York. We reached out to ICE directly about this issue, but have not heard anything back. Happening today, Louisville Metro government is hosting a listening session focused on police reform efforts. City officials want your feedback on what you'd like to see in candidates for an independent monitor. That position is supposed to be a neutral evaluator who will oversee the city and LMPD's progress under Louisville's Community Commitment Plan, which is set to pick off where the city's consent decree leaves off. As a reminder, Louisville's consent decree is still in limbo, awaiting a local judge's decision after the DOJ decided to end it last month. The first session will be held from 6 to 7:30 tonight at the Republic Bank Foundation YMCA on West Broadway. There will be a second listening session later this month. Metro Council's Budget Committee signed off on TARK's $115 million budget. At a meeting just last night, the Transit Authority said it's working to stay on track after facing a massive financial shortfall. TARK officials told city leaders they are recovering from a $30 million budget gap and are focusing on the basics like reliable routes and on-time service.
If you say you're going to be on time, be on time. If you say you're going to put a route out there. When I look at on-time performance, we were trending at 67% of the time. We have increased that to 78 now.
Executive Director Ozzie Gibson says no major cuts are planned this fall, though small adjustments may be made. The agency is also considering its first fare increase in over a decade as it looks for every possible way to stay on budget. Metro Council is expected to vote on the city's 2025-26 fiscal year on June 26th. In the lead up to Juneteenth, which is this Thursday, the 19th, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced the winners of this year's Juneteenth Jubilee Commission Awards. Now, this was codified about 3 years ago to help Louisvillians connect with the holiday of Juneteenth and celebrate partnerships with Black leaders and businesses, community organizations, as well as higher education across the metro. Today, Mayor Greenberg distributed 4 Juneteenth Jubilee Commission Awards to prominent African-American leaders in the city, celebrating their contributions. Mayor Greenberg also took time to thank the Juneteenth Jubilee Commissioners for their work promoting the holiday.
And to the commissioners of the Juneteenth Jubilee Commission, thank you all so much. I know that you have worked incredibly hard to continue over the years and this year, raise the significance of Juneteenth, use Juneteenth as an opportunity for all Louisvillians to learn about our important history, to elevate the message of Juneteenth, and to bring together people through important celebrations and educational opportunities.
Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation or Freedom Day, commemorates the day as all enslaved people were to be freed, which took place over 2 years after Abraham Lincoln issued that Emancipation Proclamation.